It seems to change.
Going live now.
We are live.
All the way down the road.
All the way through the internet. If you can hear us, go ahead and say in the chat, even though the video's not up. I it's like
Yeah.
like some weird thing. Hey, everybody!
Man, what's the name of it?
I
You
like
caught us,
sneaking you onto the camera
That's
there.
fine. That's fine. I can handle anything. My improv skills are improving. Welcome, everybody. Can you put the lower third up, please, sir?
Please.
No.
Please.
Do it.
Please. No.
Do it.
Our,
Do it
No.
now.
You don't. Oh.
our female viewers like it.
Well, when the female viewers comment and say they like it, then we'll lower it.
They
Until
like
then,
it. They like it when it's up. That's when they do. They
Okay.
don't like it
one
when it's
day,
down.
one day I'll actually have a girlfriend and she'll be like,
There we
"Hey,
go.
keep it down."
I can go like
Yeah,
really retro.
Oh, look at that.
old thing.
Little. Yeah. what was
That's the lower third that points to each other's
that?
crotch.
Inches. Yes.
Take a note of that.
Yeah. Right.
Welcome, everybody. Thank you for joining us today here on Smoking Underground. I am Devin. This is Gary, and we have John in the booth.
John and
I'm over here producing.
Producing.
he's in the produce.
So we're having a good old time, and I told my buddies here that I desperately needed today more than anything because I just went on for a meeting that lasted for an eternity.
Meetings are so overrated. My gosh, they're so overrated.
6+ hours.
My goodness.
Woo!
6+ hours.
Yeah, it was
That's
mind-numbing.
5
When
and a
you
half
were
hours
like
too long.
5 or 6 years old and you dreamed of
Yeah.
growing up and being in the real world, working
Right.
in businesses, did you ever really think that you would hate meetings as much? I mean, you carry a little briefcase to first grade and you're all ready.
Right.
Yeah,
You're
right.
dressing like a little
Right.
businessman.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
No.
If you had a known. If you only had a known.
No.
If you only had a brain.
Totally totally overrated, dude.
So we are smoking a cigar today.
That's really why I got out of management.
Just a cigar.
Just
today.
a.
Oh,
just
man,
a cigar.
yeah.
But
Ooh,
not
ooh.
just any cigar. A cigar that actually has
Come on.
a timer on it, and that it changes its price
Ding.
over a certain period of time,
True that.
in a very short period of time.
Yeah.
And I'll let John say if we're
Yeah.
allowed to say that.
Yeah. Are we?
Well, this is the LCA cigar. We're probably breaking the rules, smoking it again on a Thursday
Oh,
before
God.
the Friday release. But
It's like it ensures sales.
I can't pronounce the name, but it will be half price for the first 3 days of the release. Then it goes back up to regular. And we will accept credit cards, and be sure you have 0% financing when you do purchase it.
This is true. At least the first 3 days.
I highly recommend buying
Right.
this by Sunday. Sunday. And I will be at 280 selling you these Sunday.
Indeed, he will. And he'll be glad to do it, too.
Please buy these and La Polinas all day. That's the
Yeah.
only thing we're going to have available on Sunday.
Well, I hope it is. I hope this cigar is worthy enough to sell out in the first 3
I think
days.
yeah.
Or that it's so good even after the price up. I should say price
Yeah.
hike,
Right.
in my opinion.
Right.
That it still continues to sell. But we're going to give an honest, positive critique of it because I will not rip it a new one.
So, in saying that, we're not supposed to be saying that it's going to come to change.
No,
The
it
price, right.
says that.
It says it on
Yeah.
the site, I bet.
That's what I'm thinking. But so, I mean, if it were me, I'd say, well, I'll be back. I'll be back in 3 days.
In
Well-
3 days, it doubles in price.
Oh, it doubles. Oh, that's right. It goes down.
Yeah.
And then it goes. Oh,
Yes.
okay. That's,
The idea is we want to move these suckers.
Yeah, in 3 days. What's up, Jonesy?
But-
Taylor.
Hey, Joe,
But when we
Jonesy,
hear
good
when we
morning.
hear your review, we're gonna find out. Because I mean they're on a roll. The last 3 or 4 months, they've had some pretty good
Yeah.
cigars.
Maybe they're banking off of that.
Agree.
So
Yeah.
without having tasted it, I'm going to go ahead and give it a nice critique before you explain it in detail.
Right, yeah, go right ahead. I want you to go to the band.
Well, I'm going to start out with a
want
wrap
you to
real
go-
quick.
Oh, okay.
So
All right.
the leaf wrapper that's around it is very pleasant looking. There's no cracks in it. It's beautiful, multi shades of brown. The cap is well made. No problem with it. It's a very light fragrance coming off of it.
Oh,
But it smells like it's going to be smooth. Now, the band, on the other hand, is a circus top red with silver all over it, like a bright, shiny silver. But I've got to say
that was a good one. Thank you.
that it definitely needs a sneeze. I don't think it's going to fit over that, John.
Yeah, it is.
Yes.
That's what she said.
Yeah.
The
Sorry for everybody.
You got it.
That's okay. So
John's putting rubber on the mic. Y'all got
the band
We
is.
don't want it to reproduce.
Yeah, right.
Oh my God.
Yeah, right.
Anyways, the band is
Go, baby.
very uninspiring.
Right.
But John, if you can show off the band on your camera, that'd be great.
Why? It's very uninspiring.
Yeah.
Because I would like the full effect of how uninspiring it is. Like for what they're talking about for the price,
Oh, yeah.
but then the price jump after 3 days,
Right.
I expected a band as good a quality as La Palina,
My father.
as My Father,
Yeah, right.
as
Uh,
Aroa,
yeah.
you know,
Right.
something
Right.
something of that
Pretty
nature.
good, brother.
But
Pretty
this
good.
one doesn't seem like that at all. But
Right.
hey, the quality of the smoke, baby, so good that you don't even give a crap.
Indeed.
So let's find out.
Oh,
While you tell us about it, I'm gonna light it up.
God. This particular cigar right here is made. It is the El Septimo, the Zaya collection, and it's kind of the Zaya cigar has basically been around since 2005, which is a long time for this not to be even known. Okay, so all of that particular. And Zaya goes back a long way. He's basically almost like a billionaire, I guess you could say. He owns the real estate stuff. So anyway, he brought his own cigar out, and this is the collection right here. We're doing the orange collection, which is pretty neat. It's again, the band is I'm with that, and it's a bit underwhelming.
Underwhelming. That's a great way to say that.
And I'm really expected a little bit more out of something that costs what it does after 3 days. This particular cigar right here, of course, is we're looking at Costa Rica as far as the country goes, but that's about all I got on it. I don't have anything else as far as a wrapper, binder, filler. It varies there, if you will, as far as that goes, and it's made to be a larger type smoke, so it's going to be smoother, if you will, and cooler, rather, as not smoother but cooler.
Cooler. That's a great way to put that. Yeah.
Right. So built to be a medium to full bodied stuff, So
I would definitely say it hits the medium mark.
does it?
Yeah.
And it'll.
So light yours up, Gary.
Let's do.
It's got a slight pepper sauce on the cold
I was just
draw.
about to say salsa. I was just
Really?
about to say
Yeah,
salsa.
Yeah, that's the cold draw. I haven't lit it.
But no joke, as I'm smoking it, you said no joke. I was thinking salsa,
Now we're talking.
like kind of that little bit of fruity, but not like fruity, like sweet fruity, but kind of a spicy fruity, but not peppery.
I was kind of thinking more like a Alabama white sauce.
Oh, come on, brother.
Yeah, I could see a little
Get
bit
on
of
it,
that.
John. I hear you. Oh, John's tugging on my heartstrings.
So far, I got to say I'm enjoying it. It's solid medium body, solid.
It's got a great draw to it.
Yeah, it's got a nice tang
Really
to it.
has got a great draw to it.
Yeah,
Really
like
does.
almost a Habano tang to it.
Mhm.
So the astronauts enjoy this.
That's right.
I like the draw. The dry draw, of course, is what was John was talking about over here.
Yeah.
And It's got a nice sweet, like
Yeah.
I gotta agree, a nice sweet fruitiness, if you will.
Salsa. That's the only thing I can say is it's like salsa.
Interesting.
It's like good salsa.
Okay. Well, we're about to find that
It's
out.
got a nice, normal, like just typical in the air, fragrant smoke smell. It's very sweet.
Okay.
The draw on it is probably one of the nicest, easiest ones I've had in a long time.
And what kind of cut do you have on yours, John?
I've got the deep V from Calibri.
Okay, and you've got the straight cut, right, Gary?
Yes.
Yes, and I've got a wide mouth punch.
I almost
you got a
shirken
wide
cut
mouth.
this, and I bet you could get away with a shirken cut, and that would really intensify that spice because it draws so easy. This is like getting on the interstate with no traffic.
Which, by the way, we're going to want to check that before we leave.
You got that right. Yes, sir.
It was
I'll
backed
probably go
up
back
all
Moody.
the way. Yeah, I'll probably have to take the back
Moody.
roads.
Yeah.
That was northbound.
I know. And
Right.
both of us got to go northbound.
Exactly right.
You
I
just
gotta
got to go down the
way
street.
over
I know. I thought about you. I was like, I bet John doesn't. I'm glad he doesn't have to deal with that anymore. I actually don't mind the back road back here. I don't typically take it because it's quicker to go the interstate. But the back road back to my house goes through the mountains, and it's kind of nice.
Gary came the back road, he said, trying to avoid some of it. But
Yeah, they had a wreck on 280 down towards Acton down there.
Yeah.
It was backing up.
459.
all the way- Yeah, 459 on towards Acton down
And
there.
it was backed all the way up to here.
Was it?
Yep.
And I said, you know what? I'm gonna take Grant's Mill. And I took Grant's Mill, come on around. I think it was a smart
That's the way I
move.
take it home.
Is that right?
If I
yeah,
have
that's
to
a
go.
pretty ride.
It is.
It sure enough is.
Yeah.
Man, that's a nice ride.
Oh,
That is a nice ride. Hey, Jonesy, if you still listen, I don't know whether you know that or not, but the bikes have got to go down Grant's Mill. They've repaved it, dude. And they are.
Oh, they have?
Yes, they have.
did
haven't been down there since
did they repave
Yes.
between Rex Lake and
Yes.
119?
Yes, sir.
during that curviness.
Yes.
Down that
Yes, they have.
curviness.
Yeah, the curvy.
Oh, that's
Because
good.
they
Curvy
did that
road.
about 10, 12 years ago. That's about as long, that only lasted
needed
about
it.
6 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, it needed it.
Right. But it's fresh now. They hadn't even got the lines on it yet. They still got the little markers.
Oh.
They stand up markers on it.
Ooh.
So,
A lot of people going to die.
Yeah, boy. I mean,
so
that's gonna
today's
be
libation,
nasty.
before I forget,
Yes.
is
What are you drinking?
the
today?
Basil Hayden toast.
Toast.
And I hadn't actually heard of this one, so it attracted me.
Toast.
And the toast is aptly named because about midway in your tongue, you can taste a little bit of that dry bready flavor, and it's pretty good.
So it's not a rye. It is it's still a whiskey, right?
This is a Kentucky straight bourbon whiskey.
Bourbon whiskey.
Yeah.
Aged.
80 proof, 40 finish, sweet caramel. I don't see artfully aged.
Okay.
Whatever the hell that means.
Yeah, we'll leave that alone.
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll leave that.
I do like the label on it though. It's very, very nice how they go through it.
That's a
Now-
classy bottle.
It really is.
Yeah,
I
it
love
is.
Basil Hayden because they put that metal around it.
Yeah.
And
I hate the new Basil Hayden bottles.
why?
I just don't like them. I can't remember what the previous ones were, but I liked them so much better than this new generic design.
Yeah. Well, I like whiskeys with caramel, where they talk about sweet caramel,
Yeah.
because at Havens Hill, that Northcutt got me turned on to.
Oh, Heaven's Hill.
Oh,
Heaven's
that's
Hill.
so good.
Yeah. Freak. Stay away from Northcutt. He's a bad influence. He knows what he's talking about. Unfortunately.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah. He does.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah.
This has definitely got that similar caramel taste to it.
You know what he's really good at? He's really good at rum. So if do you like rum?
I love rum.
Do you?
Love
He's
rum.
a rum connoisseur.
I love
He
it.
really is. Very, very enjoyable.
And he's the
to
reason all the
listen to.
rum's gone.
Yeah, I wouldn't doubt that. Wouldn't doubt that at all. Yeah.
So
Anyway,
as we're continuing to smoke this, letting this sit for a minute and then taking a pull on it. Yeah, this is pretty good. Is it double the price good? That's the question of the night, which
Yes.
we'll have to answer. You think so?
I'm only quarter inch in or so. Yeah, I think it's.
John's much more experienced than I am. I'm gonna have to take his word for it.
What do you think, Gary? You're about as far in as I am.
it's good. It's still I was expecting for it to be smoother. I'm getting a little bit more pop. I'm getting a little pop off of it.
Really?
Yeah, I am.
Take a swig of that.
Oh, look.
Just a swig and then drink. I drank from that end.
Just a swig. You know, I don't get to down this. You sure?
Let that ruminate and then pull on that.
What?
I think you'll start tasting that smoothness he's talking about. Because for one, I forgot to get you your water.
That's nice.
Yeah.
That's nice.
Yeah, I can definitely. I see what you're saying.
That fits.
Fits very well.
That fits quite nicely.
I'm hitting a triple hitter now.
Wow,
with my
you did good on that.
Yeah.
Wow, that's nice, man.
You think he is on a podcast called like Whiskey Talk or something?
Yeah, something like that. Well, even a blind squirrel, you know,
gets it right every once in a while.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Broke
Whiskey
clock,
Talk friends, WTF.
you know.
Yeah.
I think they're going to sell at that price.
I don't think they'll. If a couple people get a hold of these and word spreads, they
Yeah.
ain't going to make that price.
Yeah, yeah. In this size, I don't want them any longer. I know they come longer. They
wouldn't
do,
either.
But I really like this. It's a Robusto size. It's a 5-inch.
No, it's a touch longer than a Robusto.
Maybe but yeah.
It's not a Toro, but it's a little
yeah.
bit more than a Robusto. But you're about a 54 ring gauge.
Yeah, about right there. Yeah, 5 by 54, maybe 5.5.
I'm thinking it's 5.5.
It may be, but it really doesn't need to be any longer than this right here. It's got a lot of flavor to it, and it gets smoothed out with that. That's nice. But yeah, I thoroughly enjoy this. Now the wrapper is my color. I like the wrapper. A good dark, what we call Colorado type color, which is a dark brown.
Right.
And this, the wrapper has got a great color to it, a bit more toothy than what I'm used to seeing on a cigar of this cost.
Yeah.
So something normally a Davidoff or Davidoff special edition, limited edition, small batch of some kind, even in the LFD series. A small batch in that right there is I think has got a smoother wrapper, a better roll than what this is, but the draw on this is very good. I think that you'll thoroughly enjoy the draw on this. It doesn't draw like an Opus X. It doesn't draw like an Opus, but to me, I think it's got a great characteristic as far as flavor, draw, the band. Again, the color's great. The toothiness of the wrapper, okay. But your flavor and your draw is going to get you on this right here.
Right.
Your look is not.
Yeah, the band is nothing to write home about.
Right.
It needs to be embossed, and it would be better.
I think and correct me if I'm wrong, but I think if I were to see this in the box, I would look at it and say it's $11.99.
Yeah,
You know?
it looks plain.
Right.
The band makes it look a little too plain.
Right. So I'm thinking that this probably would not sell on its looks alone. It's going to have to be sold twice. Somebody like John's going to have to get a hold of you and say, hey, you need to try this.
Now, imagine this on the band. The only thing, I know this is easier said than done, but all the silver parts being embossed, just slightly pressed or slightly raised.
Yeah.
And I think that would sell it.
Oh, yeah. I agree.
Add a little bit more dimension to it.
I agree.
So you would raise the cost of the band by 75 cents per band. What do you think that would do to the price of the cigar? That's going to add $3 to the price of each cigar.
I'm gonna say this, but if you can afford this now, you can afford it at that.
Yeah.
So it's sort of like having a multi-million-dollar house and say, well, you got to have a maid. Okay, get a maid. You got it. So I mean that right there, yeah. This right here would be.
No, it's going to take some selling. It is a kind of a boring band for a Privada cigar.
It really is.
Now, on a secondary note, correct me if I'm wrong. You guys,
you're always wrong.
I'm always wrong, but that's projection right there.
John just
projection. So when you look at this and you think this is worth the double the price that we know it to be, are you thinking what's another cigar that's also around this price range that would fit in the same category that would make me say, yes, this one fits in the same price league as this other one I'm used to?
We don't have a lot that hit in this price league, but I'd put it up I'd probably put it up against the Byron.
I was thinking the Byron or the Atabay. We thinking. There you go.
Okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I would.
Which then, that's good because I'm a fanatic. I always compare them to Padrones, and I would be like, no,
I don't.
But I'm a fanboy.
I don't think it would compare to a Padron. I don't think
in any capacity.
I couldn't do a 26 or 64 against it. I was thinking Opus, and Opus is just not going to be it either.
Yeah.
It's going to have to be Byron and Atabay are same family.
Right. So that leads us into the main topic of the event for kind of a criteria and judging, so to speak, of the cigar of the year. And what criteria would you use to judge a cigar of the year as opposed to the criteria they currently use right now? And John really stepped us off on this one right before the show started because I was a little miffed on what to say about that. And then as soon as you said your first one, I went, I get what you're saying now. And I'm going to reiterate what John said, so I give credit to John on this one, and I completely agree, is that it shouldn't be a cigar that's out of reach for the common person.
You said that sounds more like a pricing thing. It's got to be available on the shelf. It's got to be production.
Right.
This 3 years later, you got Andalusian Bulls.
Right.
That's ridiculous. Right. Or I couldn't even tell you what last year's cigar of the year was, but we got 3 boxes over the course of a year. So I got 60 cigars to satisfy my customer base.
Yeah, right.
No, it's got to be something that we, in theory, can regularly stock.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
In the last year, Plasencia has some good ones.
Plasencia's had some excellent ones.
We got 20 boxes of the 135 anniversary Olivias in.
Yeah, right.
That I think could be a contender because they're not always in stock, but when we get them, we get a significant amount. They do sell quickly because that's a phenomenal value.
Which I think that as the baseline of critique for the cigar of the year is an excellent starting point.
Yeah.
Absolutely excellent starting point because it knocks out people like Andalusian Bulls. It's just I love you, Andalusian Bull, but I can't get a hold of you.
Yeah.
You're a great cigar, but
that was a kickstart that's the kickstart of the Andalusian Bull.
I can't call you the girlfriend of the year if you're always at work and I never see you.
Yeah, well, she's always doing calendars.
That's right.
But that's one thing that sort of irritates me along the same lines as Cigar Aficionado. It sort of rubs me the wrong way because Cigar Aficionado, obviously, the Bible of the industry, I understand that. I do. And they're dynamic. They have a very broad spectrum of things, even regional. But when it comes to Cubanos, we don't buy Cubans here in the U.S. We don't. I understand this
Aurora 20th
overseas. I understand, but here, to me, I think they need to limit the, I don't know, maybe limit the production of saying, hey, listen, this is the American, viable list.
So that maybe too, like luxury cigar of the year versus the normal cigar of the year that gets more press.
Something like that.
So Andalusian Bull being the scapegoat right now, that gets the luxury cigar of the year, but it's not the cigar of the year. It's not the one they tout out.
Right.
Well, last year's cigar of the year, Padron 6000, Padron 1964 6000, or whatever that was, the torpedo. That one's always available. That's a good cigar of the year. But guess what? It doesn't get a lot of talk because it's always available. It doesn't have that out of reach. But I get that criteria, and I'll put it to David Garofalo, who is the creator of the Cigar of the Year. He came out with Cigar of the Year years before Cigar Aficionado.
Yeah.
And that's one of his rules is you've got to be able to get it.
Yeah.
You know, we can talk about how great everything is,
Sure.
but
now the next thing I wanted to bring up for discussion more than my just like straight on, I think it should be this is the packaging and or banding of the cigar, as opposed to like, well, that cigar comes in cellophane, that can't be the Cigar of the Year.
I care less how the cigar comes.
That's kind of the way I was thinking. Like, now I'm kind of like, that shouldn't be a criteria, but the band, on the other hand, I think should, I mean, not, to a small effect, because the only reason I say to a small effect, not a zero effect, is like the Amazon basin, because its band is just, you know, a rope of tobacco.
Right.
And it's excellent. It's an excellent cigar. I mean, and it doesn't even have the name on it. And it's an excellent cigar. So I'm not saying it's got to be more than just like something like this, just a single band.
Right.
But it's got to have a little bit, you know, more than one color. Got to have the name on it. And it's got to present itself as something that would be appealing to the eye.
So you discount every Tatuate, you discount every 1000 series Padron, you discount.
Well, the Padrones are more than one color on their bands.
Not the 1000 series.
Yeah, the text on it is a different color.
Well, it's white and brown, but I mean, it's still, it's still.
But here's the thing: if you're going for Cigar of the Year, why would you do that?
I don't think you're going for Cigar of the Year. You're going to build a good cigar.
Right. Agree.
And like I said earlier, I mean, Saka makes some great bands, but he's paying $1 a band, $1.50 a band. And he's having to make them out of the country because you can't make them in this country because of the EPA. So I don't care. It's like, I'm a car guy, and there's a Ford Focus RS ST is a hellacious car, or Ford but it's just an economy car. Or we can go the new Toyota Corolla GR that's just coming out. Yeah, it's got some fender flares on, a little bit of tweak, but it's just a Corolla. That's what most people think.
So is there anything about the band, in y'all's opinion, that would be a turnoff? Anything?
It has to have one.
Well, it has to. I think it has to have one that's traditional. But it, I didn't like the rope band that Foundation used, and Foundation had a metal band, like almost a ring at one point.
I've got one of those,
and I didn't like those because it's not a band that I can hold the cigar with. I use the band quite often. My fingers are on the band or just next to it most of the time. And those I could never hold. That's why I never smoked them.
Well, see, even those Padrones with the small bands, I really wish Padron would double the size of their band on those 1000 series and all that, because I don't like how small. I love Padron, but I do not like the size of their bands on those. You know, I never have. I don't know why. I like at least a thumb size. You know?
I'm honestly somebody, I don't care if it comes in a box or a bundle. I mean, if you give me a solid cigar, I'm going to take a solid cigar.
Okay.
Yeah. The Elite by Oscar went the exact same route.
Right.
Yeah. And Oscar basically just said, hey, listen, we're not going to go extravagant on the wrapping. We're not going to go extravagant on the box. They're going to come in bundles. You're going to get a box, and these bundles are going to refill.
And you know what? I actually like that band.
Yeah, it's a great looking band.
Because the band is just like, it looks like it's made from recycled nonsense material.
Right. Yeah. Well, it
looks good.
It really is.
It fits the theme.
So, and that's what his goal was.
Right.
Was to have an economical smoke that's really good. Don't concentrate on the packaging. The marketing will do itself.
Right.
And that's what he did. And he did it well. That cigar sold. Oh my God, it sold.
Still does.
Still does indeed. So, with the old grade C wrapper on the outside of it as a wrapper.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Great
Honestly,
idea.
we could
Great
discuss
idea.
all these points back and forth, but I really think your point in the beginning is really the only criteria.
Yeah, and I also said the only other criteria I kind of put on it. I don't give a damn when the cigar was released.
That's a good one too.
I don't want to
That's a
hear.
good
I don't
one,
want to
too.
hear your favorite cigar.
Right.
If you like the Padron 50th anniversary, you like the Padron 50th anniversary.
Right.
It might be something you really enjoy. It's not your everyday cigar because it's $40, but
Has there ever been a cigar to win like 2 awards, 2 Cigar of the Years?
you mean by 2 different groups, or
Are you talking about like one company?
Yeah,
One-
like let's say that Padron you were talking about that one, like a year later it won again. Has that ever happened?
the Padron actually, I think, did 2, I believe.
But I mean the same exact cigar.
I don't think anybody's ever repeated.
No, I don't think so.
Manufacturers very
No.
rarely repeat. But if I remember correctly, and I never really went back, but when they named the Cigar of the Year Cigar Aficionado last year, I believe that was a cigar that was already on the shelf. It's not
Excellent.
something we stocked at
Yeah.
Cigars and More
Right.
until it was named Cigar of the Year, and
Obviously.
then we stock it.
Right.
Now.
Yeah.
But
So as I was saying that to you about the only criteria, I think I'm not sold on it, but cigarillos obviously can't win.
I'm sorry.
that's
no,
a machine made.
No.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. It's got to be
Yeah.
full on
It's
cigar.
gotta
Those
be-
have to be Hector Mono. They have to
it's-
be handmade.
Right.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
got to be a premium cigar by a cigar,
Right.
aficionado's
Right.
definition of not the magazine, but a guy that
Right.
smokes cigars and is
Right.
into them, who understands what a premium cigar
You think a
is.
Lancero could win?
No, without a doubt, I think so. Yeah, Lord. Yeah.
I love Lanceros.
Yeah.
We'll go back to my good old buddy David for their anniversary party this year. They did 300 boxes of Lanceros,
Oh,
and David
God.
hates Lanceros because they don't sell.
Oh,
They sold 150 boxes the first week.
yes, sir.
Woo!
Yes,
That
sir.
was 6 months ago.
Yeah.
They have 97 boxes left right now.
Yeah.
So they're selling about 1 box a week. And
Yeah.
that's kind of what he figured. It would
Yeah.
take him 3 years to sell them.
Yeah. Well, there you go.
By the way, one day I'm going to order a box and we're going to try that. But
I really think that's a great criteria, John. I think you've done a lot of research, even in your own head, of thinking about
Yeah.
it and contemplating it.
I think it fits it.
It
I think
does.
it fits it. Yeah.
But if you check the website, smokingunderground.com, I've tweaked it a little bit. We've got a link to the FDA study we've always talked about. It's about $10.50 now. You can go ahead and purchase.
Right.
You can purchase the movie that we're going to be reviewing next week.
You're right. Cape Fear with Robert De Niro.
That's going to be
And
good.
Not the
there is
1962
a
version.
link that will take you to our email, and you can email us your choice of cigar of the year and give us a couple of reasons why you think it's cigar of the year.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. Not
Yeah.
don't just name it.
Yeah.
You got to show your work like in high school.
I like the Camacho Candela because it's green and it tasted good.
yeah, that's
No,
not enough.
no.
That's not enough.
I will say that this particular one I'm smoking now, I'm a bit hesitant on the ash,
It's not as packed as tight as I was hoping,
Oh.
but it looks good to me.
but it don't to me.
No?
We've got no. Look at the charcoal.
Okay.
Yeah, a good ash and as well as good tobacco that goes into this right here, and undoubtedly the guy's doing something right. But undoubtedly, this right here has got a nice, if you will, charcoal type ash. No, I like a good white ash.
Do you think maybe
Love
it
it.
needs to be a pack sitter for a
I
week or
think
two?
I think
I don't-
it draws so easily.
Yeah.
It's not getting hot enough to burn that charcoal, and that's why you're not getting the white
Very well
ash.
could be.
I
Very
found
well
it- out
could
of it.
be.
I found mine. It does have that charcoal, but I found it a very tight ash where I almost had to force it to break
Did
off
you?
of my cigar.
Okay, yeah, because I've yet to.
John likes that
tap
tight
mine.
ash.
I've yet to tap mine, so I'm giving it a second to see if this thing's gonna wiggle a little bit. But but I like a good white ash on mine. For the price, if next time you do smoke of my father,
Okay.
and check an ash on that, as well as Padron.
Yeah.
Padron, white ash.
Yeah,
and
tight.
white. Yes, sir. White and tight, just like draws.
You know, I get something
So-
similar off of, and I know it's gonna be blasphemy to some people's nubs.
Mm-hmm.
It's a good burn on nubs.
Mm-hmm.
I've been recently coming back around to nubs because
They're flavor bombs.
I still haven't done, and
There
you
it
just dropped
There
your
it
ash.
went. Yeah.
I still haven't done the coffee in the morning and nub.
Oh wow.
I keep forgetting about it.
Wow. I think you'll thoroughly enjoy that. I do. I think that will do well.
But I am
really,
enjoying
really
this,
do.
John. I think you're right. It's opening up a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm finally starting to, because I've still got this other taste of this cigar, which I won't name, that's not good to me. I'm still getting that char taste on the back upper of my mouth, and I don't like
I
it.
love that.
Oh, and the third rule on Cigar of the Year, it has to be sold by our family of cigar shops. That we're going to limit it to that. I don't want something from one of the online
Right.
retailers.
Right. Right.
Right. It's got to be accessible to everybody.
Yeah. And it also eliminates that Cuban. So, because unless you know the secret word, we do not sell Cubans at.
Right. Yes. No. God, please.
Aroa 20 years.
Please don't come in for Cuban. Please don't.
I always take them to that Aroa every time somebody asks for one.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
It's a good
Every time.
idea. It's a great idea. I
Every
normally
time.
do.
I always wait till their sixth visit.
Their sixth visit.
Yeah, then I take them to the secret room,
Oh,
Gotcha.
okay. Yeah. There you go.
the Cuban closet.
The Cuban closet.
What about retail only?
What do you mean retail only?
Talking about the selling of the cigar, retail only. Would that
Brick
be,
and mortar?
Yeah, brick and mortar.
Well, it's got to be one of our shops. So it
Yeah,
obviously is going to be brick and mortar.
Right.
Because even our online shop at birminghamcigars.com only sells the inventory out of the
Correct.
280 humidor.
Correct.
Yeah.
But I'm talking about like wholesale companies and
Mm-hmm.
that type of stuff. I'm talking about, yeah. So brick and mortar only. Or would you go online and brick and mortar?
Nope.
Why not?
Brick and mortar only.
No, only things that we sell in our shop.
I like that.
That's a little reductive to just that's being very us centric.
Yes,
Cigar
it
of the Year.
is.
I'm looking at the guy that sponsors and pays for the podcast here.
Well, no,
Thank
I'm just
you.
saying, like,
Thank you, John.
you're talking.
I see where you're coming from. there.
I think just straight retail, like anybody's retail, but obviously something we can get a hold of, which means anybody else retail could get a hold of it as well.
Okay. I mean, 2 against 1. You guys win.
This thing's banging.
I mean, if we could get the
It is
exclusive
banging
and
now.
we are the only shop that sold it, that'd be amazing. But what's
yeah.
the likelihood of that?
Well, I wasn't saying exclusively us.
Oh, okay.
It just, if you happen to like a Romeo Julieta
Right.
Reserva Real and
Right.
you nominate that and it wins, that's good.
That's right.
Gotcha.
Right.
Nothing against the Romeo Julieta Reserva Real. It's a good cigar.
Yeah, it's been around forever.
Forever.
But there's a reason it's been around forever.
I remember when they first come out, and I said, "What? What is this? What?" I remember when the Monte Cristo White come out. I was at the opening of the Monte Cristo White when they first come out.
That's back before you had to be 18 to smoke. And
God, yeah, man,
That makes me think
Gary
of-
was there in his diapers.
yeah. I was there with my little passy, and one end of it was cigar. So
that makes me think of the age of 21 now to smoke, the age of 21 now to drink.
good grief.
And I'm stopping. I'm going. I'm gonna rub people the wrong way. You can't marry until you're 21. Everything has to be over
You
21.
can't gamble till
You-
you're
you-
21.
Everything's 21. Everything is 21.
Well, you get killed at 18.
It's
You
true.
go overseas, get killed at 18.
Yeah.
Uncle Sam will put you over there, and you take a bullet while you're 18,
It's true.
which makes no sense at all.
Well, it
No.
does, but this isn't that podcast, so we
Right,
won't
right,
discuss
right.
that.
Gotcha. Yeah.
I'm thinking of working on a podcast similar to that. So
Nice.
be looking for that in January.
There we are. There we are.
The Itch podcast.
Yes.
Ooh.
Itch.
So, in note of that, I've also been working on that,
Bingo.
and
Itch.
somebody helped me come up with a name for mine as well. The Art Files.
The Art Files.
Yeah.
That's neat.
I see mine. I've already got the logo designed. It's the itch, but the E can be an E or a B.
Or a B. Yeah.
I do like that name though. That's good.
Yeah, sort of like the Bugatti emblem.
Uh-huh.
You know? Yeah. Yeah, I can see that. That's neat.
Yeah.
That's
I guess I'm buying a domain tonight.
Right. You
If
better.
it's
There you
still
go.
available.
You better grab it, buddy.
Now, so here's the question:
Better
is
grab
if when you put that in your podcast, like when you make the podcast, if that's the name you're actually going to use, are you going to put it in as the, or are you going to put it in as itch?
Probably itch. The is a horrible search term when it comes to.
Oh my God,
Yeah,
it is.
yeah.
It's so bad. Like you can go on your Apple podcast and type in the, and it just, and I'm like, you people are dumb.
What did they say initially about Facebook?
What?
It was the Facebook.
It was, yeah, the Facebook.
And the guy told him, said, hey, drop
Yeah.
it. Just do Facebook.
The.
That was it.
No, the search engines are horrible to the word the and the word podcast. So
Right.
the ideal podcast is the podcast. You will never come up in a search.
That's right. That's right.
Oh, God. Man, yeah.
All right.
Anyway.
So this has been a great cigar and a great
this show
discussion.
has.
Great
Man,
libation.
That's good.
This is a good end cap for the night.
Oh, I forgot
Remember to
about
like,
that.
share,
Yeah.
subscribe. Join us next week.
Gary, you're at Mountain Brook this weekend.
I'm at Mountain Brook this week, coming up Saturday.
And John Tastic.
Sunday here at 2-8
That's right. And then tomorrow we've
Where
got
you
Trust
gonna be doing?
Vegas.
with
You-
our wonderful cigars we're smoking today at half price.
Right. And you guys definitely need to come to Trustville tomorrow.
Uh-oh.
We
Yeah, it's
need
Friday
to throw
night.
something out. Do you know what's happening at Trustville tomorrow?
I do. I got a text
Oh,
directly
yeah.
from the owner about
There
that.
we go.
So
from
from
which owner?
Yeah, right.
Harris 4 and Rocky. Not that Rocky's the owner, but
There's for the Rockies.
Actually, I got mine from the guy to your left telling me about that, I believe.
I got it from Harris.
I don't know where I got it from. Maybe I got it
Anyway, so tomorrow from 4 to 8, it's going to be low key, and this
There
is
it
the
is.
only place you're going to hear
Yeah,
it publicly.
Right on. Go for it.
Oscar is going to be there promoting the 33 Oaks, and I believe he might be doing a giveaway.
He is.
Ooh,
Dun, dun,
yeah.
dun.
I believe it's a 400 count Thermidor.
That's right.
It right there.
Be there, be square. Come in, join some libations with me. I'll be there probably. Normally I get there at 6, but I may show up early.
Man,
Get to hang out with the old Oscar.
I got to go to a
Devin's
ball
all-
game tomorrow night, but I'll
So
be there.
Devin's all
tomorrow.
about his GTOs.
Oh, I can. I have the ability to enjoy GTOs. You like how I worded that?
And
I
if you
like it.
want to make Oscar really, really happy, go in and you tell him how much better the Oldsmobile 442s were than the Pontiac GTOs.
That's right. Tell him that directly
Oh, God, yeah. Oh,
with
Lord.
straight face, like
Mm.
you hadn't heard it from John.
Oh my God, Lord child.
But yeah, be there, be square. It should be a good time. If anybody knows when cigar reps show up, what happens typically, you need to be there. He's a good dude, and we're gonna have a great time. It's Friday nights at Trustville, so we're gonna be open late, which means it's gonna be lit.
So you guys are going to enjoy that Friday night, and I am going to thoroughly envy you guys because I will be at a ball game.
Yeah.
So I'll be watching my daughter, which is probably a little bit better, maybe.
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 Remember to like, share, subscribe, hit the follow button, all those things, the bell notification, all the platform stuff.
All that
If you're
stuff.
watching this, you kind of
Come
understand
on.
the basics of that. If you
Yeah,
don't,
right.
ask somebody. They'll tell you about it. And then we'll be here next week discussing Cape Fear
Yep.
and the cigar. We think it is the cigar. I'm going to do more research on that, what this guy online said it is, because you can see the band in the movie theater, and I didn't catch it exactly, but I need to look at it again. You can watch it on Amazon Prime. They have a freebie version with commercials in it.
Yeah,
And-
you caught the newer one, right?
The Robert De Niro.
Okay, so
Yeah.
okay.
That's the one we're watching, the one with Robert De Niro.
Yeah, okay.
The
Now-
one that's linked on the website.
It is linked on the website.
Click it, take you to Amazon, $9 for a copy. They'll ship it to you. You got Prime. It'll be there in 2 days.
There you go. There you go.
'Cause
Now,
I'm kind of wondering on the older one, does it show the band better or does it show it at all?
I don't know.
I don't
either.
know. If you
But-
want to find out, it's $9.98 on.
I
Now-
will.
Correct me.
I'll find it out
I'd
on
like
YouTube.
some movie aficionados to go out there because I still got to do the research on this. But there is a detective in Cape Fear, the Robert De Niro version, and he shows up for a few scenes. And I only watched the trailer for the older one, but I believe it looked like him. I'm going to do the research. He looked like one of the guys from the original movie, but he played a detective in the second one, kind of like cameo-ish.
Yeah,
There's this website called IMDb.
But I want to see if you can just notice it without maybe watch the movie first, watch the trailer for the 1962 version, then watch the movie.
Watch the movie first, then watch the trailer for
Then
the
watch it.
1962.
Right on. I agree.
I don't know, man. I'll be honest with you,
Man,
because
That's
the
a good movie, dude.
I don't
Good
think I
movie.
could watch the 1962 version.
That's why I said watch the movie.
But
then
that's why I say
the
watch
trailer.
just the trailer.
Right on.
Because if it's the guy who I think it is, he's super young in the 1962 version, so it's kind of hard to tell. I think I picked him out by his chin because he has a very distinctive
There's
looking.
only 35, 40 years difference.
Right,
between the
right. Anyway, that's all we got today. We are enjoying this wonderful cigar, and thank you for joining us. Thank you, John.
Yep. Remember to go to the website. Links to the movie, links to the FDA study are finally there, and links to our email.
Right on.
Send us your cigar of the year suggestions.
Please
We will
send those.
be talking to you next week.
Next week.
Vaya con Dios.
Week.
Vaya con Dios.